This is Professor Radigari, and this is going to be a recording that summarizes the Markstrat simulation and how you're going to be evaluated. This occurs after the practice periods are over and after the restart. Basically, what you have is you have 8 periods of simulations, 8 sets of 8 rounds where you have to make decisions, and you're going to be evaluated based on that. So just want to kind of break it down for you. If we start with the performance in Markstrat itself, let me back up. You're going to be evaluated based on 2 things: how you perform in the simulation itself in comparison to your peers, and also the quality of the reports that you turn in. And if you're unclear about the reports, I'll talk about that in this lecture, but you can also check it out on the information in Blackboard as well. Okay, so for each period in Markstrat, you're going to be evaluated based on how you do related to your peers. Okay, and so basically everything is laid out, and there's nothing subjective here in the grading of this. It's all completely based on how you do. So you're going to be evaluated based on one of 2 things. First is your stock price rank. The higher your rank in your industry, the more points you're going to get. So if you look here, first place gets 6 points, second place gets 5.6, and on down. 5th and 6th place, if you're in an industry that big, you end up with 4 points if you finish last. However, in order to keep people motivated and to ensure that people in last place have a chance to earn a decent grade in the course, I'll also weigh your stock price growth. Okay, so if your stock price grows greater than or equal to 40%, you'll earn a full 6 points. If it's if it's greater than or equal to 30%, but less than 40%, you'll get 5.7, and so on. You might be wondering, well, 40% growth, that's huge. It is, yes, but it actually does happen sometimes in Markstrat. So you'll have these 2 figures, and then what I'll do for each round is I will take the higher score on the 2. Okay, so if you finish in first place but you have negative growth, you're not going to be penalized because you were in first place. So that you'll earn a 6. If you finish in 3rd place at 5.2 but you grow 30%, 31%, you're going to get the better of the 2, which would be 5.7. But the real reason this is in place is for those that are in last. So if your stock price is 5th, you would only earn 4 points. But if you grow 24%, let's say, and still finish in last place, I'm going to give you this 5.3 instead of that 4. So I'm going to take the greater of the 2 in each period. If you finish in first place every single period, you'll get a 6 no matter what. If you finish off of that, if your growth is greater than your place, then you'll get the growth instead. Okay, so the higher of these 2 metrics will be used. There'll also be bonus points for ranking change. If you move up 4 places, you'll get 0.5. If you move up 3 places, you get 0.3. It's a small bonus to reward you for leapfrogging someone. Okay, all right. So again, it's out of 6 points. So there is a chance to go above 6 if you say leapfrog from 2nd into 1st. You'll end up with 6 points plus 0.1, so you have a 6.1. So like I said, this is set up to motivate you to keep working even if you dig yourselves a deep hole, because if it was just based on rank, you might get frustrated and just kind of give up knowing you'll get the same low score every single time. So this allows you to, like I said, to dig out of that hole. Okay? So look at the syllabus to see the grade breakdown, but the performance is based on out of 6. Okay? So now you will notice that there's a couple of weeks where you're going to be doing 2 rounds per week. There's actually, I believe, just 2 weeks that happens. Okay? And what I'll do there is I'll then take your better performance of the 2 that week. So I forget which the periods are, maybe period 4 and 5. If you do better in period 4's performance versus period 5's performance in terms of points earned, I will give you period 4 and we'll drop period 5. So again, I'm just giving you the benefit of the doubt, giving you the better of the scores. So look at the syllabus if you're confused about what I mean. But again, there's just 2 weeks where you have 2 rounds of decisions. I'm only taking 5 weeks worth of performance scores, so there'll be some where we'll get to drop some in there. Okay. All right. Then throughout the course of the period, you have 5 written reports that are due, and these are out of 3 points each for a total of 15 for the entire semester. So I'll talk about the reports here in a minute, but just basically the written reports will be based on 2 things. First of all, how you're going to talk about how you did in this previous period. This is what we did right, this is what we did wrong, you know, just the state of the company in that particular period is all that is. So that's about half of the paper, of the report. And then also, I'm going to also grade you on your plans for the next period. Okay, so in this, you're just going to say, these are our plans going forward. We're going to make this decision, this decision, this decision. So you have to tell me clearly what you're going to do going forward, and you also have to clearly articulate why you're doing those things. What do you think is going to happen by doing those particular things? So if your analysis is complete and clearly explained, your decisions are clearly explained and backed by solid rationale, you'll get a full 3 points. And typically people get all 3 points. There's very little variation here, but do take it seriously, because there have been times where people don't do quite as well. Just minor note at the bottom, I don't think this will come into play, but if the report comes in sloppy, lots of spelling and grammatical problems, just doesn't look nice, I could deduct up to half a point. So just keep that in mind. If you need some help with proofreading and stuff, certainly you can find a spouse or a coworker or a friend or someone can help you out with that. Okay, so that's that's how you're going to be evaluated. Again, 6 points per period on performance, 3 points per period on the written reports themselves. Okay, let me jump to, actually first let me go ahead and show you the what I'm talking about with the decisions themselves. You've got a couple periods where you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got a couple periods here, see, where you have multiple decisions. Period. The week of the 8th, the week of the 5th, you've got decisions due on Thursday night and on Sunday night. What I'll do is I'll take the better of the 2 for your out of 6 performance score, and the same thing I'll do here. I'll take the better of the 2 in order to, again, ensure you make a better grade. Okay. All right. Next thing I want to show you is kind of some directions on how to do the reports themselves. No, actually, I'm sorry. There's a document, and all these documents are in Blackboard. This is a spreadsheet that I put into place for you to keep track of how you do performance-wise. So this is the out of 6 score. So all you do is just save this to your desktop or to your folder, wherever you want. And then each week, all you've got to do is input what your stock price index was and what place you were within the industry. So if your stock price index in the first period was 1250, you know that there, and say that was good for second place. You would end that there. You will arrive at this right here. Your score, performance score A, will be 5.6. Okay, in the next period, say you shrink a little bit, say you go down to 1200 and you slip to third place, your score will be 5.2, because you're earning 4 points for negative growth, and you're earning actually there's an error in here, let me fix that. So sorry, I'll get back to that. There is a problem there, but I will fix that for you. That way it'll be correct. So again, sorry for that. Okay, and then the report directions are here. I've already mentioned this basically. Again, this is on Blackboard as well, but basically you want to talk about how you did and what you're going to do going forward. Really very simple. You're just answering these 3 questions in detail. Okay? So really quite simple. If you go into Blackboard, there also is a copy of this Excel spreadsheet where you can actually copy and paste this right into a report that has a place for you to put your brand and put your closest competitors in any particular segment. And it allows you to have all that information in one place right in front of you. Okay, so this will help you in competitive strategy and determining what to do. So you enter your brand, your market share, all these attributes, and then closest competitor 1, closest competitor 2, and you can see what the others' market shares are, brand awareness, where they're distributing, and all those things, and that should help you decide what to do. I will tell you there is an error here, that DS is actually means department stores, and this is left over from a previous version of Markstrat where they use department stores instead of online stores. So if you do use this spreadsheet in your reports, and I highly encourage you to do that, just change that to OS. That way you don't get confused. Okay. Alright, so here's a basic framework. Again, answer what went right, what went wrong, how you're going to improve, and use this framework. So you're going to discuss each brand separately. Start with brand 1, then go to brand 2. If you create new brands, then brand 3 would come 3rd, and the discussion of brand 4 would come 4th, and so on. Okay? And then the last section, you will discuss any sort of R&D projects you are doing. Okay? If you're not doing R&D at all, just don't even include that section. But if you are doing R&D, tell me what you're doing and why you're doing it. What are you trying to satisfy? Who are you trying to target? Those types of things. Okay? And if you look down here, there's a sample report you can use to help you out. So if you make yours as well designed, pleasing to the eye, I guess you could say, as this one, then you'll be in great shape. I do highly encourage bullet points. Bullet points are much easier for me to read, and they're much easier for you to write. I don't need to see a ton of just sentence after sentence after sentence, just trying to take up space to make it look longer. Just go with bullet points. Again, you're writing this report as if I'm the CEO and I'm going to read this, and so you're requesting these decisions to be approved. Okay, so if you know much about CEOs, they don't have much time, and so they would much rather read bullet points than full paragraphs. So anyways, that's it. If you have any questions about any of this, please do not hesitate to let me know, and I'll help you any way I can. Thanks.